Imagine this. It's 9 a.m., you've made your coffee, you've opened your laptop, and instead of doing that one big, scary task you know you should be doing, you suddenly remember you need to clean your desktop, organize your folders, check email, reply to that random message, maybe even watch just one YouTube video. And somehow, boom, it's 11 a.m., and your frog is still sitting there staring at you. Today, we're going to change that. In this video, we're breaking down Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, a classic productivity book about how to stop procrastinating, get your most important work done, and actually feel good at the end of the day. I'm going to walk you through what eating a frog really means and why it's the key to your productivity. 3 big sections of ideas that will help you get clear, get organized, and take action. And a simple way to apply this in your life today, even if you feel lazy, overwhelmed, or not ready yet. By the end of this video, you'll have a practical system, not just theory, to wake up each day, look at your to-do list, and say, all right, where's my frog? Let's do this. So if you've ever felt stuck, distracted, or guilty because you keep delaying the important stuff, stay with me. Let's dive in. All right, first things first, what on earth does eat that frog even mean? Brian Tracy uses this funny image. If you had to eat a big, ugly frog every day, the smartest thing you could do is eat it first thing in the morning. Don't stare at it, don't poke it, don't walk around it, just eat it and get it over with. In his metaphor, your frog is your most important task, the one that will create the biggest positive impact, and usually the one you're most likely to put off. It could be starting that business proposal, recording your first YouTube video, having a difficult conversation, studying for an exam instead of scrolling your phone. The whole book is built around one main idea. If you start your day by doing the most important, most impactful task, even if it's uncomfortable, your life changes. You feel more confident. You move faster toward your goals. And even if the rest of the day goes badly, at least your frog is done. In this video, I'll break the book into 3 main sections. Section 1, clarity and priority, choosing the right frog. Section 2, planning and structure, setting up your day to win. Section 3, action and momentum, actually eating the frog. Let's jump into the first section. A lot of us procrastinate not because we're lazy, but because we're unclear. We sit down at our desk and think, okay, so what now? And then the brain does the easiest thing. It runs to distractions. Brian Tracy's first big message is this: you can't be productive if you're not clear about what you want. So in this section, we'll talk about getting clear on your goals, using the 80-20 rule, the ABCDE method to sort your tasks, and understanding consequences so you pick the right frog. 1. Set the table. Get clear on what you really want. Tracy calls it setting the table. Before you jump into tasks, ask, what do I actually want in my life? What are my top goals in my work, my studies, my business, or my personal life? If I could only achieve one thing this year, what would it be? You can pause and ask yourself right now, what are the top 3 results I want this year? Write them down. Don't just keep them in your head. Because once you know your big goals, it's much easier to see which tasks are frogs and which ones are just busy work. 2. The 80-20 rule. Not all tasks are equal. Next idea, the 80-20 rule, also called the Pareto principle. It basically says 20% of your activities produce 80% of your results, but the other 80% of things you do only give you 20% of the outcome. For example, 20% of your customers might bring 80% of your income. 20% of your study material might be what 80% of the exam is based on. 20% of your daily tasks create most of your progress. So the question becomes,
What are the few tasks that matter the most? Those high-impact tasks are your frogs. If you're busy all day, but only doing low-value tasks, answering random messages, checking notifications, cleaning things that don't really matter, your day might feel full, but your life doesn't move. Tracy's advice is simple. Identify the top 20% of tasks that matter and do them first. 3. The ABCDE method, sorting your to-do list. Now that you see not all tasks are equal, how do you actually organize them? Brian Tracy suggests the ABCDE method. It's simple and powerful. A tasks, very important, serious consequences if you don't do them. These are your frogs. B tasks, important but not as critical, mild consequences. C tasks, nice to do but no real consequence if you skip them. D tasks, tasks you can delegate to someone else. And E tasks, tasks you should just eliminate completely. So you take your to-do list and mark it with A, B, C, D, or E. Then, focus on the A tasks first. Within your A tasks, find the A1 frog, your biggest frog. Do that before everything else. No email, no social media, no just one quick thing. You wake up, you look at your list, find A1, and that's your frog of the day. 4. Consider the consequences. Ask, if I don't do this, what will happen? And also, if I do this consistently, what could it do for my future? Tasks with big long-term consequences, positive or negative, are the ones that matter most. Studying a little every day, big positive future. Ignoring your health, big negative future. Creating content, building a skill, improving a system at work, huge long-term upside. So when you look at your list, don't just think, what's urgent? Ask, what will matter 1 year from now? Usually, your frog is the thing that is a bit uncomfortable, takes focus, but moves your life forward in a big way. That's your real work. Before we go to the next section, think of this as your first mini challenge. Tonight, write your to-do list for tomorrow. Mark it with A, B, C, D, or E. Find your A1 frog. You don't even have to do it yet. Just identify it. That's step 1. Now, let's move on to section 2. How to design your day so eating the frog becomes easier. Now that you know what your frog is, the next question is, how do I actually make myself do it? Because, let's be honest, we all know we should work on the important things, but life gets noisy. Notifications, other people's demands, random tasks, they all jump in front of us. This section is about designing your day so that eating your frog becomes almost automatic. We'll talk about planning your day in advance, practicing creative procrastination, saying no to the wrong things, and creating big chunks of focused time. 1. Plan every day in advance. Tracy's rule is very simple. Every minute you spend planning saves you 5 to 10 minutes in execution. That means if you spend 10 to 15 minutes planning your day, you can save 1 to 2 hours of wasted time. Here's a simple routine. At the end of each day, grab a notebook or your planning app, write down everything you need to do tomorrow. Then apply the ABCDE method we just talked about. Circle your frog, your A1 task. When you wake up, you don't have to think. You already know, this is the frog, this is what I start with. No planning in the morning, no confusion, just execution. 2. Practice creative procrastination. This one is interesting. Most people think procrastination is always bad, but Brian Tracy says everyone procrastinates. The question is, what are you procrastinating on? You can't do everything,
So you must deliberately decide what you're going to put off. That's creative procrastination. Choosing to delay or ignore low-value tasks so you can focus on high-value ones. For example, maybe you procrastinate replying to random messages, or you procrastinate on checking social media, or you procrastinate on tiny tasks that don't really matter. So instead of feeling guilty for not doing everything, you choose to procrastinate on the things that don't move your life forward. You tell yourself, I'm going to procrastinate on the right things. That frees up time and energy for your frog. 3. Learn to say no and protect your time. You can have the perfect plan, but if everyone can interrupt you at any time, your frog will survive. So, Tracy emphasizes the importance of learning to say no, kindly but firmly. Think about it. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to your priorities. Every extra meeting you accept, every random favor, every quick call can steal time from your frog. So part of being productive is being strict about your time. Put your frog time in your calendar like an appointment. Turn off notifications during that period. And let people know, I'm not available between 9 and 10. I'm working on something important. You don't have to be rude. You just have to protect your focus like it matters, because it does. 4. Create large chunks of time. This is a big one. Big, important tasks usually can't be done in tiny 5-minute fragments between distractions. You need large chunks of focused time. Tracy suggests blocking off 60 to 90 minutes for deep work on your frog. During that time, no email, no social media, no multitasking. Just one task, one frog. Think of it like going to the gym. You don't do one push-up every hour throughout the day. You block time, go to the gym, and focus. You can choose one big block in the morning or 2 shorter blocks during the day. But the idea is protect that time and use it for your A1 task. 5. Prepare thoroughly before you start. Another reason we procrastinate is because starting feels heavy. We don't know where to begin. The task feels huge and unclear. One trick from the book is to set up your workspace in advance. Before you start working on your frog, clear your desk, get all the tools, files, or notes you need, close unnecessary tabs, and put your phone away or in another room. The idea is to remove friction, so when it's time to work, you can just start. It's like setting your gym clothes out the night before. You make it easy for your future self to do the right thing. So, section 2 in one sentence: plan your day, eliminate the low-value noise, and create protected time blocks so you can focus fully on your most important task. Now let's move into section 3, where the real magic happens: taking action and building momentum. Okay, so now you know your frog, have a plan, and have your time blocks. But here's the real test. When it's time to start, do you actually do it? This section is all about overcoming that resistance and building momentum. We'll talk about the power of starting before you feel ready, breaking tasks into slices, developing a sense of urgency, and single-handling your tasks. 1. Start before you feel ready. Here's a secret. You don't need to feel motivated first. You don't need to feel confident first. You don't even need to know exactly what you're doing. Brian Tracy's advice is very simple. Launch, then adjust. Just start. Open the document, write the first messy paragraph. Turn on the camera and record the first rough take. Open the textbook and read the first page. Once you start, something interesting happens. The task feels less scary. Your brain switches from avoid mode to engage mode, and motivation starts to catch up. So when it's frog time, tell yourself, I'll just do this for 5 minutes. Once you begin, you'll often find yourself going far beyond 5 minutes. 2. Slice and dice your tasks. Sometimes the frog feels huge. Start a business. Write a book. Study for a massive exam. Of course you feel overwhelmed. That's like saying, eat this entire elephant in one bite. Tracy suggests slicing and dicing your tasks, breaking them down into small, clear steps. Instead of study for exam, your list becomes review Chapter 1 notes, do 10 practice questions, summarize main concepts on one page. Instead of make a YouTube video, you break it into choose topic, write outline, write script, record video, edit video, upload and optimize. Each step is small enough that your brain thinks, okay, I can do that. Your frog might still be big overall, but you're eating it one bite at a time. 3. Develop a sense of urgency. Another key idea from the book is developing a sense of urgency, a habit of taking action quickly. Some people move slowly on everything. They think, hesitate, rethink, delay, and constantly wait for the perfect moment. But high performers, they move. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They take action, learn, adjust, and keep going. Brian Tracy calls this the habit of getting on with it. You can train this in yourself by giving yourself many deadlines, by saying, I'm going to work intensely for the next 25 minutes. Or challenging yourself, can I finish this part by 10:30? The more you practice moving fast on important tasks, the more natural it becomes. You start to see yourself as someone who acts, not just someone who plans. 4. Single-handle every task. Single-handling means when you start working on your frog, you stay with it until it's done, or until your planned time block ends. No jumping between tasks, no checking your phone between sentences, no, I'll just quickly look at this other thing. Why is this so powerful? Because when you focus on one thing, your brain gets into a deeper state of concentration. You work faster, the quality of your work improves, and you finish tasks completely, instead of carrying a huge mental to-do list in your head. Multitasking feels productive, but it's actually just fast switching, and it drains your energy. So when it's frog time, 1. Choose the task. Set a timer, for example, 25 to 50 minutes. Work on that one thing. Only when the timer ends, take a short break. Do this repeatedly, and you'll be amazed how much you can finish. 5. Motivate yourself and guard your energy. Finally, none of this works if you're constantly exhausted and negative. Tracy talks about the importance of self-talk and energy management. If you keep telling yourself, I'm lazy, I'm behind, I'm hopeless, your brain will believe you. If you keep staying up late, eating terribly, and never moving your body, of course it's hard to focus. So start talking to yourself like a coach, not a critic. Say things like, I can do this, one step at a time. Once I get started, I always feel better. And take care of your basic energy. Sleep enough, drink water, move your body, take short breaks to refresh your mind. Productivity is not about squeezing yourself like a machine. It's about managing your focus, your energy, and your mindset. So to summarize section 3, start before you feel ready, break your frog into small steps, work with urgency, focus on one thing at a time, and support yourself with good energy and self-talk. Now, let's wrap everything up. Eat That Frog is not about doing more and more and more. It's about doing what matters most first. We covered a lot, so let's quickly recap. The frog is your biggest, most important task, the one that moves your life forward. In section 1, we talked about clarity and priority. Set clear goals, use the 80-20 rule, apply the ABCDE method, choose your A1 frog, the task with the biggest consequences. In section 2, we talked about designing your day. Plan your day in advance. Practice creative procrastination on low-value tasks. Say no and protect your time. Create big chunks of focus time. Prepare your environment to make starting easier. In section 3, we focused on action. Start before you feel ready. Break big tasks into small steps. Work with urgency. Focus on one thing at a time. And support yourself with good energy and self-talk. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but where do I actually start? Let's make it super simple. Your 24-hour Eat That Frog challenge. Here's your challenge, step by step. 1. Tonight, before you go to bed, write down everything you need to do tomorrow. Mark each task A, B, C, D, or E. Choose your A1, your frog. 2. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, social media, or email, sit down, set a timer for 25 to 50 minutes, and work only on your A1. 3. After you finish that session, notice how you feel. Even if the rest of the day goes crazy, you've already done the most important thing. If you repeat this daily, even imperfectly, your life can look very different in a few months or a year. You'll build self-trust. You'll actually move on the projects that matter. And you'll slowly become that person who just gets things done. If you found this breakdown of Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy helpful, here's what I would love you to do next. Comment below and tell me, what is one frog you're going to eat tomorrow? It can be big or small. Just write it down. If you want more book summaries on productivity, habits, and personal growth, make sure you hit the like button so I know to make more videos like this. And of course, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next summary that might completely change how you work and live. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Now, grab your notebook and go find your frog for tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one.